that I killed all the hope that I had. There's a war inside of me, burning red and honestly, and I wave it constantly, like a flag, like a flag, like a flag. This knife that's in my back keeps twisting.
Welcome to the live stream on YouTube of the Slamdown podcasts, and we'll be covering the WWE BackLash results. We're going to be covering that. We're going to be also looking at where SmackDown will go from here, and basically covering everything like that at the minute. For people that have missed when we did the TNA review, that's already on the channel, so if you've missed that, you can go to my channel and it should be up on there. For me, for the first debut of a SmackDown pay-per-view, I thought it was fantastic. I thought the way it was done was brilliant. All the results I was extremely happy with. And even people who didn't see it, I did do a live stream on Facebook before Backlash started, doing my predictions, and every single one of my predictions I got right, which is a first for me. So I'm quite taken back, because normally I get about 2 right. So this is the first time I've actually got every single prediction right. So let's get into the Backlash. There was a kickoff match with Baron Corbin against Apollo Crews, with Baron Corbin winning that match. I would have liked to seen someone else go against Apollo Crews. He's a great competitor. He's great in ring. I'm not too sure on his gimmick. I think they need to sort of tinker with that. But I don't believe that Apollo Crews should be in a kickoff match. I think he's better than that. Even if he just started off the pay-per-view. You know. And it's another one for Baron Corbin. It seems like they don't know what they're doing with Corbin. They give him a bit of a pish, and that, you know, the matches he's had with Dolph Ziggler, and now they've just pushed him into the kickoff matches and left him there. The Women's Championship 6-pack challenge. I love this match. Now, I do believe Raw has a better women's division. You know, I think they've got, you know, where they've got Sasha Banks, Charlotte. So I think they've got better female wrestlers. I have to keep reminding myself it's female wrestlers, not divas anymore. But I think they did justice to it. You know, I can't even say who a worst performer was. I did think Eva Marie was going to make an appearance in that match, but she didn't, thank God, because that would have just killed the match. You know, when I was doing my predictions, I did say between Becky Lynch and Natalya. You know, the eliminations were done perfect. It was seamlessly. To me, they brought it to the top level. And since the Women's Revolution, you know, it's good to see the way women wrestlers are treated now in the WWE. You know, they're not eye candy anymore. They're treated as athletes. Oh, you can't say wrestlers because WWE don't like that. They are treated like superstars now, and it's the way they should have been treated a long time ago. But I'm happy with that, and I'm happy with the way they treated. There's a couple of possible feuds that could happen in the future, especially with the Bella as well, with the Attack and Carmella. I've got to make sure I say her name right, with Carmella. So there is a lot of possibilities and a lot of upcoming matches the way they can, because they've sort of left it. Yes, Becky Lynch won the title, but there's a lot of unfinished business there which could build up through the SmackDown shows and build up to the No Mercy. Second chance challenge to advance in the tag tournament final. I do like the heel turn with the Usos. I think it's about time. I think where they've been the babyface for such a long time, fans started to get bored. You know, they couldn't do much with them. You know, before the split, the Usos was very pushed back. You know, it was like them being teamed with Roman Reigns hurt them. You know, because when I was watching it, I was thinking, like, the Usos have got great ability, but they're fading away. So the chain making them heels was at the right time and brilliant decision, absolute brilliant decision. But another great match against the Hype Bros, which, you know, but the Usos won that match and put them through to the final to take on Heath Slater and Rhino. But then after that, The Miz versus Dolph Ziggler. I'm getting pretty bored of Miz holding the title and against Dolph Ziggler. I would have rather seen Apollo Crews take on The Miz and Apollo Crews beat The Miz. You know, it feels like they're finding something for Dolph to do. You know, they gave him a push, didn't really work. He's a great athlete and he deserves a lot better than what he's getting. I can't pinpoint it, just something doesn't work for him for some reason. I can't pinpoint what it is. But I would have to see what's next for him. Me personally, I think they should release him. I think they don't know what to do with him, and I think they should release him. They should release Dolph, let Dolph go on the indies, let him go and do a few things like that, and bring him back later on and see if that helps him. Because I've noticed some wrestlers who have left and come back have been a bit better, but then some not. You know, look at I can never pronounce his name. Del Rio. I'm just going to say Del Rio. Look at Del Rio now. God's sake. Del Rio now. You know, it came back. They put him in a stupid gimmick, and now it's gone again. But I'll cover that after this. After that, we had Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton, which we saw with the backstage assault, which I thought was a nice little touch. It's nice that it's... Because I've noticed, especially with SmackDown as well, it's normally interview, match, or in-ring statement. There's nothing really, any backstage assaults or any sort of that element anymore. So it was nice to see, you know. And then we had Kane come out to take on Bray Wyatt, which was, I actually quite enjoyed the match, and I liked that Randy Orton came down later on limping down with the injured leg and hit the RKO. I thought it was a good match. I wouldn't say it's top match, but it was a good match, and you know, it could lead on to other things. Heath Slater and Rhino against the Usos. Now, that match really highlighted Heath Slater. It but sort of showed the determination in him. You know, there was less of the arrogant side to him, which I liked. I quite like the way he's being used now. I like that. You know, before with Social Outcast and other stuff, he'll be like, yeah, baby, and like doing that all the time. And then he'd get cocky in a match, and then that's how he normally ended up losing. But they've sort of changed, I wouldn't say changed, but slightly adjusted his character, just slightly. And the fans are loving him, absolutely loving him. And, you know, he took a beating from the Usos and was still standing, still kicking out. He wasn't used as a jobber, is the best word to put that. He was much at the forefront. You know, they blended him and Rhino really well. You know, now we know Heath Slater's kids will get fed. They're going to have a 2-story house now. But yeah, I think it was done brilliantly. It was done well. You know, there's not really many critiques to that match. Now he's officially signed to SmackDown. I thought, especially to me, they're quite the odd couple. You know, Rhino being very the Gore, ECW tough guy, and Heath Slater being that cocky, arrogant. I didn't think they'd work, but they actually do. It surprised me that they actually work well as a team. But maybe that's what's going to happen later on. Maybe Rhino turns against Heath Slater later on, and I don't know. They could go many ways with that, or they could keep him as a team for a while. Now, my favourite bit to talk about, the main event. AJ Styles versus Ambrose. Proving that an indie guy can make it. And for people I can't notice, yes, I have actually got the AJ Styles t-shirt on. Had to be done. I'm a big AJ Styles fan. People who know me know that I've watched TNA from the start. I remember AJ Styles in WCW, and didn't see his career in WWE. Did a bit, but I saw him in WCW. Then I saw him in TNA, and the transition and the change in him through his career in TNA, then New Japan. I saw some of New Japan because in the UK we don't get everything here. So I saw part of his New Japan, and then to see his transition in the WWE. As a fan, it makes me proud. It proves that indie guys can make it. It proves you work hard, you make the right decisions, you could end up in the WWE and become one of the top dogs. I'm not too sure if this is a fact, but I think he's the first guy to be NWA champion, TNA champion, New Japan champion, and WWE champion. I think Kurt Angle, I can't remember if Kurt Angle did NWA, the New Japan. No, I think he did do New Japan, he's just not been NWA. Anyway, I think AJ Styles was the first guy to do that, and it seems like Vince is starting to relax in, or I don't know if it's Vince or Triple H that sort of run it, but it was brilliant to see. It was good to see AJ Styles, the face that runs this place, defeat Dean Ambrose. Even though I do like Dean Ambrose, I think his character's brilliant. But I'm going to say it. I believe that there's room for SmackDown to have another title and another division. With Raw getting the cruiserweight division, I think SmackDown, I know they're PG, and I know people are going to say, oh, it's PG, they won't do it, but I don't care. We've seen what they've done in TLC, so it's a possibility. I'd like to see the hardcore title come back, and I think doing a hardcore division on SmackDown, you could put Dean Ambrose would fit amazingly in that. They could do it, and I think it will work well, and I think it would bring a lot more fans to watch SmackDown, because a lot of us do miss the hardcore. That's what got me into TNA. It wasn't just the X Division, it was the hardcore, it was the Monsters Brawls and stuff like that. But anyway, I think the WWE could do it, and I think putting it on SmackDown, Raw has the cruiserweights, SmackDown has the hardcore. They won't go as graphic with blood scenes and stuff like that, I know that, but they could still have hardcore matches. They don't have to have draw blood. We've seen matches that have been hardcore and not drawn blood, so it can be done. Because the hardcores just make it like a no DQ title, and I would like to see that. I think that'd be a good idea. Now, I am going to talk about Del Rio leaving the WWE because it ties in with SmackDown. He was drafted to SmackDown. I don't think he's a big miss, because he's a good wrestler. He's better out of the WWE as a wrestler because he hasn't got any limitations. But it's, who does SmackDown bring in? We've got Kurt Hawkins coming back, but who else can you bring in to sort of fill the gap? Because I do think SmackDown needs a lot more talent. They need a lot more people in there. I'm still hoping, I know it's not going to happen, but I was hoping that with AJ Styles holding the title, Samoa Joe to get drafted to SmackDown. It's one thing I'm always going to hope for, because I think that would be a brilliant feud. Because the way I would lay it out, AJ Styles celebrating and saying, like his quote, saying, I'm the face that runs this place, and now I'm the WWE champion. And then as he's, promoing, Samoa Joe music hits. And then AJ's taken back to see Joe on SmackDown. Because I'd have Samoa Joe come into the ring, get a microphone, and then, you know, cutting a promo against AJ, laughing at him, and getting up to AJ's face and saying, I will beat you and I will take your title. I've done it before. Not mentioning TNA's name, but saying, I've done it before and I can do it again. Because I know Dean Ambrose will be titled to a rematch, but I think if they run with that and then had No Mercy, Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, of course they're going to put AJ over, but have it in a no holds bar match, because we know what AJ and Samoa Joe can do together. You know, they can make 5-star matches. You know, TNA's greatest match was the 3-way with Christopher Daniels, so putting them two together could be a top match. And I think, especially with Alberto Del Rio leaving, I think it could work for SmackDown if they do that. You know, it's up in the air. You know, they might not. They might go and do something completely different. They'll probably do a rematch for Dean Ambrose. That's what they'll end up doing, because that's what they normally do. But I see that could work well. You know, because I'm looking at sort of, not in as a fan perspective, I'm looking at it as like, what way could they go? How would they do it? And, you know, that's what I'm looking at. You know, I know there's going to probably be a battle between the Usos and Heath Slater and Rhino on SmackDown. Build that up. Same with Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt. There won't be too much changes. They might add some new stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see what they're going to do. You know, we can predict as much as we want, but they're going to do what they're going to do, and it's down to their writers and everything like that. I think I've covered everything Backlash. Right, another thing I'm going to point out to people, because I'm getting sick of this, and it's on every news website. Paige filing for it's bullcrap. A friend of Paige's dad has already come out and said it's bullcrap. It's not true. It's completely rubbish. Paige is not, I repeat, Paige is not leaving the WWE. You know, I'm getting Paige's dad to be a guest on Slamdown at some point, but, you know, if people don't believe me and still think she's leaving, I'll get him to confirm that she's not leaving. Okay? Stop it with the rumours. It's not true. I can't understand why rumours go around so much. Just because Del Rio left, and because, how do we know they were in a relationship or anything like that? They could have been just two friends going to Disneyland taking a picture, for God's sake. People need to stop reading too much into things. You know, it could be anything. You know, Del Rio wasn't happy with, because he said it on I think it was a Mexican podcast, where he left because he wasn't happy that he failed the drug nurse policy, because the drugs he was given was prescribed to him by the doctor, and he proved that to the WWE. You know, that was his reason to do it. It was nothing to do with Paige. Nothing to do with Paige at all. So, we'll have to wait and see in time. You know, I'm telling you now, Paige is not going anywhere. You know, and then once people see that, they start to learn to stop believing the reports. The amount of reports, I know this is not Backlash related, but so many of the reports coming out, oh, TNA's closing. Well, TNA's still here. TNA is signing this person. They didn't. This person is leaving the WWE. No, they didn't. That's my whole point. But anyway, I'm getting a bit away from topic. But for me, my final thoughts. For me, Backlash, 8 out of 10. Actually, no. Oh, I don't know. Because the Miz and Dolph Ziggler match was a little bit disappointing for me. That was only one match. I enjoyed everything else. Sod it, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. That's, 9 out of 10 for Backlash for me. I'm looking forward to No Mercy. I'm actually looking forward to SmackDown. But tomorrow night, we'll be doing the Raw report. It'd be 9 p.m. GMT, because I know there are some people that from America that watch this, so please remember it's GMT time zone because it's from the UK. I'll be doing same thing as this, going over results, going over promos, what things can lead to, and that's tomorrow. And Wednesday it is SmackDown review, covering everything on the SmackDown. The Sunday show will be coming back soon. The Sunday show is normally where I have a guest or I cover all sorts of wrestling. I am trying to get someone from a UK company to come and talk about, I don't want to say too much just in case or whatever. But anyway, there are things in the pipeline. I am talking to other wrestlers for the Sunday show. And then, of course, on Monday, it's back to TNO Report. Because we are going to have every Monday, not every Monday, but some Mondays we will have the pay-per-view reviews like we've got now with Backlash, but we'll also have like Bound for Glory and everything else, and always will be on a Monday. But when we haven't got a pay-per-view, it will just be the TNO review. So I want to say a big thank you to people listening on Mixlr, for everybody on YouTube watching this video. I will do a couple of live streams on Facebook when we have any news. To get us on Facebook, because Facebook URLs are weird, if you go on to slamdown.co.uk, our main website, and down in the sidebar you'd see our news page, or you can click on the Facebook icon on the header, which will take you to our group page, because we've got a group page and then we've got a main page. But the main Facebook page is where I will be doing the video live stream, because for some reason they don't let you do this setup on groups. Don't ask me why, it's just the way Facebook is. But yeah, also all news will be on there as well. Or you can follow us on Twitter, which is at SlamdownPC. Follow us, you can tweet us, DM us. Like I said, we're a non-profit friendly podcast, so, and anybody wants interested in being a co-host on any of the shows, drop me a DM and then I'll add you to Skype or have a talk and sort that out. So big thanks to everyone for listening. Playing us out, we've got to do it. I've got to do it. We're going to play out the AJ Styles theme, playing us out. Don't worry, you're not going to see me in the background doing any kind of AJ hand sign or anything like that, because yeah, that would be just pretty sad. I'm not that sad, and if I do that, I'll walk off to the side and not on camera. But anyway, I want to say a big thanks to the listeners. Anybody that's not watching this live, you can comment below the video, and I do check comments. I do check and I do reply, because like I said, we're about the fans. We're not run for profit. We're not run by a business. This is purely done by fans for the fans. So thanks again. You've been listening to Slamdown Podcast Live, and this has been the Backlash Review.
Strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you could be next. You better give respect. Cause ain't nobody breaking this red promise strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you can be next, you better give respect. Cause ain't nobody breaking this redneck. No, they don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They looking scared, no, they don't really want none. And I'm a Mack truck, don't get run over. We some country boys working overtime, boys. Kings of the South, we never had nothing. Blue collar boys do it with their hands muddy. No, they don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. Ain't looking scared, no, they don't really want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. Ain't looking scared, no, they don't really want none. We some southern boys with the promise strength. Ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. And you can be next, you better give respect. Cause ain't nobody breaking this redneck. No, they don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They looking scared, no, they don't really want none. And I'm a Mack truck, don't get run over. We some country boys working overtime, boys. Kings